Man, Lovecraft Country is doing an amazing job of fully expanding their world. The world is getting bigger and bigger, so it's not just Lovecraft, it's all a bunch of other things, and I'm ready for more.
This is what had happened on Lovecraft Country, Meet Me and Daegu.
Play the music. What's really good, guys? It's your boy Spotted Menace, aka D-Man. Your man, I'm sitting here with my sister, my day one, and one holds it down for me. My co-host Daria. Say what's up, Daria.
What's up, Daria?
And welcome to What Had Happened Was our little recap show for the channel.
Yes.
We got another episode of Lovecraft Country just for you, episode 6, Meet Me in Daegu. But before we get started, y'all know the drill. If you'd like to see this channel continue to grow and thrive, please make sure to subscribe to us. Hit the bell icon to get notifications for videos, because we got videos for you every daggone day, ranging from movies to video games to wrestling to anime to whatever we find absolutely interesting. We bring it right to you. Also, like any of the content that you do enjoy, because that does help us. And comment down below, because we do like to hear from you, HEELKAIJU faithful. Now let's get it going.
Going or gone? Gone.
Both. I'm cool with both. Episode 6. This one is all about Gia. This one is all about Gia.
Now we finally get. Hey, I'm so excited because we went to Korea.
Yes, we did. Right before the war hits.
Yes.
Come to Korea. We get to figure out what the relationship was with Gia and Tick. We had glimpses of before a phone call, an incident in episode 2 at the house when they started hallucinating with what we thought was their biggest desires, but it turns out it might have been, their biggest fears as well. We got a lot of stuff to go through just because, as I said, this is all about Gia, this whole episode. Yeah. So let's go ahead and jump right into that in a bit. If this is your first time watching us, here's how we do things. We hit you with a brief as brief as we can make it. Yeah. A brief episode recap, which is going to be filled with spoilers. So we put spoiler warning everywhere, like spoilers. And we also, after we hit you up with the recap, we then get you an episode breakdown, less spoilery. Whatever. We give you a breakdown to give you our take on the episode, what we thought as we came out of it, any things that we recognized in it, any Easter eggs we might have, picked up on, and also kick it to you. So if you guys could hit us with some Easter eggs we might have missed. But, before we get into all that, let's hit the episode recap right about now. I think it's coming right there. As we said before, this whole episode is all about Gia. This is just about her finding out who she is. We start off this whole episode saying that she is a massive Judy Garland nerd.
Yes.
She is a geek for the American musicals of the time. She's fallen in love with it. In fact, that's where she feels most free, because she's in a movie theater, dark movie theater, just herself and a couple other people who are trying to make out. But in her mind, she's dancing and she's singing along to Judy Garland. But in reality, she's just sitting there watching it kind of stuff.
Yeah, because she's enthralled with Judy Garland, which at the time, the movie, because it was 1948, 49?
Yeah, 49.
Somewhere around there.
It was 49.
Okay, so meet me in St. Louis or St. Louis.
Louis, please.
However, it's
what have you?
But that was the movie that was popular at that time. So that was the movie that she was watching, which she became enthralled with Judy Garland, and
Yeah, I want to talk about that later on when we finish this up. But we find out who she is. She loves musicals. She's a young nurse. She's trying to become a nurse. Yeah. And she has, at the time that we are shown, it looks like a pretty good relationship with her mother, because she's grabbing the cabbage for the kimchi. They're laughing. They're joking around until she's like, hey, I need to worry about my nursing. And she's like, no, you need to get a freaking man. Yeah. And we figure out why later on, why she's a man. But it starts off as if she is just in need of getting a man in the house to help protect him, help provide for him. That's what it's presented as, even to the point where when she goes to the nursing school and they're talking amongst themselves, leaving her out of it, talking amongst themselves about how one of the other students was able to get a man. She's using, and this kind of brings in with the Judy Garland thing I'm going to talk about in a second. But she's having to use her tactics to try to get a man, and it doesn't work. Yeah, she just doesn't have that ability to connect.
Yeah, she doesn't. She just doesn't have that emotion to connect with other
dudes.
Okay, I'm good. That's what I'm gonna say.
I don't want to say other dudes.
I don't want to say something else and then spoil it. So yeah, she doesn't have that emotional connect
we're about to spoil it
with
anyway.
other guys. So it kind of. So I initially, when you're watching the opening of this and you're seeing Gia's story, you can see that she seems to be a little bit awkward. Yeah. She's like very much kind of awkward.
And then we find out why, because after that little round of speed dating, one of her best friend pulls her in and says, hey, let's have a night on the town. Yeah. She finds a man there, brings him home. And then we realize that's why they need a man, because as they're doing the dirty deed,
wait, I don't know if it was them or just her. And I think it was just her.
I'm talking about having sex.
Oh, okay.
I'm using euphemisms because you don't want me talking about it. So I'm saying, as they are doing the horizontal mattress mambo.
Okay,
the beast with two backs. Why? As they are freaking.
Why?
As they are freaking. A bunch of, it took me a minute to see, I thought they were tentacles at first, but they're tails. They're tails that come out and they, intertwine or wrap around the guy, and then they pop out of her eyes, pop into his eyes.
Yeah, they come from all over her holes.
All over her body.
Holes, because they came from her holes.
Wherever there's holes. Too.
Butthole. Holes. Oh my God, I'm really telling you.
Anyway, we're stuck on the holes. We're stuck on the holes. As the tails come out, we find out that they transfer the victim's memories into her mind. Yes. And she's able to hold on to them. And then, for lack of a better term, they get explodified. Yeah, they explode in a spray of viscera, and they're gone and dead and done. That's when we find out that her mother is pushing for this to happen. Yes. With her, and she's gathering all these memories, and that's the relationship that they have. Yes. We also find out that her mother summoned her to be here, but it takes a minute to figure out the whys behind it. Yeah. After that, the Americans decide to touch down because it's 1950 and it's the Korean War.
It's the Korean War, right after World War II. Right after the atomic bomb drop in
Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Yeah. All that good stuff. So like, there's no chance to just sit here and
it's like no relax. Breather, none.
But the Americans come, they drop anti-communist propaganda, throw the leaflets all around, and they're an occupying force, and yay, fun stuff. Yeah. But Gia, who is still retaining all the memories of the people that she has popped, because she has to basically explodify 100 men for her mother or her summoning mother to get her daughter back. Yeah. So that's all that fun stuff. Yes. But the Americans are here, and the Americans mean that there's a new crop of fresh meat to gain from this. Yeah. And she's still doing it. She does it all the way up to number 99, and it's when we realize a few extra things about her. Like, for instance, the fact that she is struggling to retain any memories for her daughter. Then we find out that she doesn't have any memories of her daughter.
No, she's not able to have any memories of her daughter, so she has to implant these memories, you can sort of say.
You can kind of say,
for fairness, through the victims that she explodified.
Yes, like the first one is most likely the father, because we find out that the father, who is not her biological father, but is, he's just a man who joined up with the family because she had a baby out of wedlock.
She had her out of wedlock, which of course at that time, and I still think as of today, if I'm not mistaken, if I am, please comment down below and let me know. But I think it's looked unfavorable upon, or brings dishonor to the family when you have a baby out of wedlock in the Korean culture.
Yeah, and in desperation, she got a man, and a man who found out that she is willing to let him do anything. And by anything, that means raping
her daughter. Yeah.
Trigger warnings up there. R-wording the daughter.
Yeah.
repeatedly.
Yeah.
And he's like even through the memory relapse that she has, she does it not through her daughter, but through the father that was doing the bad deed.
Yeah.
Because she starts singing a lullaby as they're cleaning up the viscera and mess of the number 99 that they explodified.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, she's so happy. The mother is so happy. She's like, oh, that's the lullaby that I taught her.
Yeah.
I don't remember you teaching
me
her
that lullaby.
I remember her singing this to soothe the fact that she was getting
raped by her stepfather, sort of.
Yeah. And the fact that he knows that you allowed that to happen, and she starts pressing her on that. And because because this was around the time, she's like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore, and this is how I'm going to make sure that this is a thing that I'm choosing not to do.
Right.
That is until they find out that one of the nurses on their shifts is a communist sympathizer, and they pull him off to the side of the road.
Yeah.
All the nurses, her included, and her best friend, and they just start killing nurses until
that was a little bit hard and
very hard
to watch.
Hard to watch.
Yeah, because they were it just kind of felt like
it was just so casual. Like, damn.
Yeah, it kind of felt like the Nazis and killing the Jews and how they just went down the line and just so that part is going to be uncomfortable to watch.
Incredibly uncomfortable to watch. So like, a lot of this is very uncomfortable when you really think about it. But
it is. But it's a little bit more tolerable compared to that scene now.
But Tick was present during this time.
Yes.
Tick was
this is
present
how
during this
Gia
time.
is introduced to Tick.
Yes.
So to speak, not formally introduced.
But like he's there.
Yes.
And in fact, later on in the show, like very almost exactly after it, like I want to say that started in the spring, and then in the summertime, Tick is injured in a bombing and is in her unit, and that's when she basically is solidifying the fact that if there has to be a number 100, it's going to be Tick,
because he was present when her best friend was killed. No, she wasn't killed. It was just another nurse alongside her.
Well, it was her best friend, but she was carted off as a communist sympathizer.
Yeah.
So basically, she's dead. She's basically dead.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah,
but pretty much. So that's when she finally gets introduced to Tick. He asked her to read The Count of Monte Cristo, which was referenced in episode 2 of this show as being his father's favorite book.
Yes.
Because that's how they managed to find the little secret passage in there.
Yeah.
But he's wanting to read The Count of Monte Cristo. His glasses are broken, so he's asking her to read it to him. And she immediately refers not to the book, but to the movie, because again, she loves movies.
Yes.
She refers to the movie, the way that movie ended, and he's like, ha, you now have to read it because that's not how the book ends.
Yeah, because she basically was trying to be dismissive.
Oh, very dismissive and very disrespectful.
Of what happened. Yeah. Because of what happened.
Because she was like straight up like, I'm going to spoil this for you,
like, here's what happened, and there you go. I read the book to you.
There you go.
And it was just kind of like, yeah, well, you kind of pissed her off, so.
I mean, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have did the same thing. Like, yeah, well, here's how it ended. Go fuck yourself. Bye.
Pretty much, yes. But we find out later on that he uses his charm and they get much closer together. Still centered around the book, The Count of Monte Cristo.
Yes.
And we find out that Tick is not drafted, unlike his Korean friend who was speaking around the time. He chose to come in here, and he says, in pretty much in the same words, it's like, hey, the way that you want to disappear into the movies, I like to disappear by putting my notes in my books, but sometimes that's not enough, and I just had to, leave.
Yeah.
Had to escape. That's my escape.
Yeah, because she, of course, here's where we get back to visiting Judy Garland. She asks them about Judy Garland.
Yeah, it's like, do you know her?
Yeah, like, do you know her personally? Do you guys, get to see her? And of course, with racism going on in the United States,
I ain't gonna see it unless I'm her butler and he's her chauffeur.
That's it.
That's the only way.
Because he was Korean and he's African American, so of course, Tick would be a butler. His Korean family
or
friend would be, or vice versa. It doesn't matter.
There's no hierarchy of jobs when it comes to this. As long as it's subservient, they're happy about it.
Yes, and that basically solidifies what we know about TV culture and how races are being viewed. And you quickly are brought back to that when they say that, and you're like, right, because that's the only jobs we're allowed to have.
Yep,
of course.
That's fun.
Yeah.
They finally get a chance to get a date by him bringing her on base, watch another Judy Garland movie. I think it was also Meet Me in St. Louis again.
No, it was not. It was actually, I think, A Star is Born with Gene Kelly. And if I'm not mistaken, this was the last Judy Garland film that she made with that studio. I don't remember the studio, but if I'm not mistaken, A Star Is Born was the last film that she made with that studio.
Oh, well, thank you very much
Yes.
for that. But yes, they take a little date
Yes.
right there. They have a nice little situation right there. They enjoy each other. She invites him to do again the dirty deed and
Yes.
have the sex. And in
Yes.
the midst of getting it on, she's like, you know what? No, I don't want you to die.
Yeah.
So she pushes him out of
Yeah.
bed and makes her escape. And that's when she's like, no, I'm definitely not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
You said I can't have feelings. You said I can't have emotions.
No.
I feel something
Yeah.
for this man. I feel something for him.
And it's confusing to her because she doesn't know how. Because again, she's not supposed to have feelings.
Not only that, her mother is like, yo, not only are you not supposed to have feelings,
Yeah, like
you also aren't supposed to have feelings for the guy who is responsible for your best friend's
death.
being murdered.
Yes.
So that's when there's a
it
schism
should've been-
between those two.
Yeah, that's when it becomes a conflict. That's when you start to see the rift. Like, okay, so mom, here's the story.
Yeah.
Here's what you did, but you're telling her what she did.
Yeah.
Because the
Like,
mom
you're both
basically,
monsters, basically.
right?
in
She
this
was like,
instance.
I'm a monster for being
A monster.
a monster.
Yeah.
And you're a monster just in the sense that you allowed a man to rape your daughter.
Yeah.
Without no context or saying anything.
Pretty much. But the relationship between Tick and Gia continues to grow.
Yes.
They get really close together. The
Mhm.
mother still doesn't like it. They do end up having sex, but she's able to control herself
Well,
a lot
that
more this
and
second time.
that and Tick let it be known that he was a virgin.
Yeah, that too.
So she was his first. So she kind of was able to take the lead on this, which also probably helped her control
Yes.
the monster inside from unleashing.
Yes.
Is how I took it when I
Yeah.
saw it.
Oh yeah. I
Okay.
mean, you're not exactly wrong
Okay.
with that.
So yeah.
But again, their relationship is growing. Tick
Yes.
and Gia are getting, nice and tight together, but the mother is still not liking it. And she tells her once again, it's like, I love this man.
Yeah.
And the mother's like, okay, tell him that you're a kumiho. And that's what she is, a kumiho.
Mhm.
Basically, if you, I think the parallel is like a Japanese kitsune, nine-tailed fox.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's
Which
like,
is how all the tails
all
come
those
out of the
tails
holes.
come out of, if you
It's-
have to say the
Yes,
holes.
the holes.
But anyway, she's like, then tell him you're a kumiho. And
Yeah.
and we cut away to the final time they are together because it looks like she is about to tell him about her because she's actually telling him what a kumiho is.
Right.
And he cuts her off by saying, hey, I've cycled out. So I don't have to be here.
He gained enough credit to leave and
To
go
leave.
back to the United
and
States.
like he said, I could stay here. She's like, you don't like the war? It's
Yeah.
like, okay, well then why don't you come with me? And she's like,
I can't.
I can't. You don't understand what I am. And
Yeah.
that's when, they get all tight and nice. And once again, get ready for sex. Yay. And that's
You
when
could have just said, get ready to do the deeds. You don't need to say the unless
Well,
you just absolutely have
I
to.
had to. I
Which
don't
it
care.
sounds like you absolutely had to for
I
no
must.
reason at all.
I must say it.
There is no must.
But they get down one more time for
The deed.
the deed.
Thank you.
For the deed.
Thank you.
And she can't control herself this
No.
time. I think it's a lot of the emotions, the fact that he might be leaving,
Yeah.
the fact that she's not in full control of this because this time
No, because now
Tick
she
is
has
the one
full
who-
feelings for him.
Yeah, he has full feelings, but
Yeah.
like this is also when Tick is the one who's pushing toward having sex this time around.
Yeah.
So they're getting ready to get down and the tails start coming out and they start wrapping around him and Tick
Yeah.
notices this because the other times the boys don't notice because they're
No.
too busy, getting in.
Yeah.
But like Tick is like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like,
And then
what's
the eyes
happening?
pop out and she starts reading his memories and she reads his memories from birth to up to this point, almost
Yeah.
his death. And that's when she sees him being present for the torture of her best friend. And that's when it cuts everything off.
Yeah.
But you would think that that's where it would end. But instead, she's able to read his future.
Yeah, and that's where, here we go. That's where everything starts to get intertwined.
I'm gonna let you hand that.
That's where everything started. Like you said, the book, what is it, Monte Cristo?
Count of Monte Cristo.
The Count of Monte Cristo, because of course we saw that book in episode 2.
Mhm.
So now you get the link of that book and why that book is so important. Then you get the links, and this is all through her vision.
Yeah.
Then you get the links to see what Letty has to do with this.
Yes.
Somewhat. You're still not fully clear of it, but you just see.
Him making his way to
Yes.
Chicago.
Right. Him
which
making-
was what we saw in
Yes.
episode 1.
Yeah.
And also his potential death.
potential. We're not sure.
We don't know what's
Still
going
don't
on.
know.
But that's when she tells him
Yeah.
you shouldn't leave, and that's when, because like in episode 1 and in the most recent episode,
Yes.
she's telling him like you shouldn't have went home. You shouldn't have went home.
You
shouldn't have
should
went
have
home
stayed.
because the last thing he hears her say is don't go home.
Yeah.
I know I said don't go home.
Yeah, you
don't
did.
go home.
But she did tell him like you need to stay here. You
Don't
shouldn't
go
go
home.
back home.
Don't go back home, but he still ran
still
off
does
because I mean,
go back
come on,
home.
you just had tails
Yeah.
and tail tentacles
Yeah.
holding you down. So of course
So
she's
if you
like,
watched not last episode, not episode 5, but episode 4.
Yeah.
At the end when he was deciphering those codes,
yeah,
and it said die, and he called. That's who he called was Gia.
yeah. That's
Yes.
what she said. You shouldn't have went home.
That's when she said you shouldn't have went home, and that's when the phone ended.
Yeah, and we end the episode pretty much with
Yes.
her going to the shaman that helped her mother summon her to the land and let him know it's like, hey, you didn't finish your job. There's
No, you
still
didn't.
one extra soul that you have to pull in.
Yeah.
And the mother's like, yo, I'm willing to sacrifice for her to figure out what the frick is going on.
Yeah.
And that's where we end because
And
we
that's
don't
it.
we don't get to figure out
No, we
what's
don't.
going on. But it is done over with a dub over of Judy Garland.
Of Judy Garland,
I think
yeah.
last interview before her death.
Yes, it was. It actually was. And you
So,
could actually
yeah.
tell and hear it in her voice that it was her last interview.
Yeah.
And it was.
But,
I
yeah.
don't remember where the interview came from. I did see the interview. I just don't remember where the interview came from.
It's one of the last ones. But
Yeah.
basically, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what had happened on
Uh,
Lovecraft Country.
Meet me in Daegu. Oh, Daegu, thank you. I'm the one who told you how to pronounce it, and I mispronounced it. What the hell?
Exactly.
Anyway, yeah. So one of the biggest parts about this is Gia and her struggles with her emotions and her feelings and the fact that she doesn't have any of her own. And you start to see the cracks, or you start to see the parallels the very first scene in this episode, which is when she's in the movie theater, because in her mind, she wants to be that free person dancing and singing along to the Judy Garland music, but her body's not allowing her to be. And I think that's what is the perfect personification of her relationship with her emotions and feelings in this episode, because like she knows what that looks like. She knows what that is. She knows the humanity of being completely free and free-spirited, but she can just sit there and just stare stoically watching the screen.
I'm not gonna say that she knows. I am gonna say that she sees it.
Well, I mean, like she knows what the
sees
experience is.
She learns it.
Yeah.
Okay, but
it's a learned thing.
But she's just not able to feel that.
Yeah, and that's really the whole crux behind a lot of this, because whenever has any kind of relationship with anybody aside from her mother, because her mother's the one that she has an actual connection with.
Yeah.
But when she has a relationship with anyone in this whole show, it's either through a learned experience where she's like, I'm mimicking this, or it's taken such an emotional draw for her to feel that way, like with her relationship with Tick. Like that one is real, but all the other ones is like, I'm mimicking what emotions are, that I'm mimicking that connection with these people. And it's really interesting the way that they have her go throughout this, because even her best friend, it doesn't feel like she has that kind of chemistry, but she's again mimicking what that looks like.
Yeah, she does. She mimics because she can't feel.
Yeah,
and like we said, the only memories she's allowed to have are the victims that she kills, or through her father, or
which I mean, I think is the only reason why she even has that memory is because he might have been the first one.
I think he was the first one that she killed.
Because there's a lot of implied instances in this. Because like it doesn't get completely told to you. Like we don't know if the father actually harmed the daughter to the point where she's dead, or if she's just replacing her because she got summoned. We don't know if the mother sacrificed herself at the end, or if we got any other final information for this, because like, it all ended so ambiguously.
Yes, it did.
Ambiguously.
Not only that, we still only got vague information as to how she became a kumiko.
Yeah.
Because we don't even know if the mom asked for something, or
like if she specifically asked for that,
I kind of want to say she wanted a man so badly that she probably did sacrifice her daughter.
Yeah.
Her daughter, it became this creature as the Kumiho.
Yeah.
And that's what we got in return for her to get a man.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Only because, that's just. I kind of feel like that's what. I hate to say that's what happened, but I kind of feel like that might.
I hope that's not what happened.
I hope not either.
Because we need something more light in here.
We do, but
Jesus.
again, it makes sense considering that she had her daughter out of wedlock. Her family's being dishonored. In order for her to get honorable again, she needs a man.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like maybe she sacrificed the daughter.
Yeah.
And in return, the daughter became a Kumiho, and she got a man, or she got a husband. Yeah, the husband ended up raping the daughter, which meant he became the first victim, which means she now has to kill 100 men to be free and become human again.
Yeah. And it gets to the point like in the middle of the episode, she basically was like, I don't know why you want me to want this, because I'm seeing the worst of humanity through this whole ordeal right here.
Right.
But the whole thing I want to talk about is the fact that I had to, double check the names. I want to make sure I get names right.
Okay.
I suck at names.
Okay.
Y'all know this. If you've been watching us this long, I am horrible at names, so I got to double check. Jamie Chung.
Yes.
That's the one that's playing Gia.
Yes.
And she is phenomenal.
Oh, I mean, I think everybody.
She is. I'm saying like she is absolutely phenomenal. Because for her to be basically carrying this whole episode until Tick hops on the screen and they share, the both. They're both great.
Yeah, they are. Because Tick really didn't come in until close to the end of the episode.
But like Gia is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Jamie Chung is absolutely amazing in this. I need more of her in this series.
I'm sure we're going to get more of her because she is a part of the story.
I know,
and there's
but
more to being told to this.
Oh yes, the one thing that I really liked about this is the fact that it's expanding the world in a way that I was not expecting, because I was just expecting, okay, so we're only going to be focusing on the Lovecraftian horror, the Cthulhu, all that good stuff. But no, it's everything now, because when we bring in the Kumiho, then it's saying, okay, so we can have various other cultural lore thrown into this, other creatures thrown into this, and I need to see more. Who else are we going to see?
Yeah.
And we got the Kumiho. Are we going to start seeing regular dragons? Are we going to start seeing some African folklore? We already started seeing a bit of that when it came.
Yeah, we did
to that episode.
First and second episode.
Well, actually, the episode where they got the house. When they slit the goat's throat.
Yeah.
And we started seeing, religious iconography with that. Mm-hmm. So how much more are we going to see? That's really the big question I don't want to see answered with this. But anyway, tell us what you thought about episode 6, Lovecraft Country, Meet Me in Daegu. Yeah, I pronounced it right here.
Good job.
Let us know in the comments down below, because we do want to hear from you. Also, let us know if we missed any potential Easter eggs, if there are other things that we probably want to miss, because again, we do want to discuss more of this. We actually, enjoy hearing from you about this.
Oh, absolutely. And this is such a fun thing to talk about.
Yeah, it is. It is
like,
very
it could
fun.
just go on forever.
I'm enjoying the show. I don't think I've ever had this much fun just waiting. I usually hate waiting for a day to watch a show.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten to the point where it's like, if it ain't bingeable, I don't care, because I don't care about TV as much like I used to. But now it's like, I'm waiting for Sunday to come so I can catch that
so we
drop.
can watch this.
But also head on over to patreon.com/HEELKAIJU so you can get some updates on the site, the store, and the channel, and also get some banging ass merch. Yay. We got shirts, we got masks, we got pins, we got a whole bunch of other stuff that we got just for you guys up on the site at HEELKAIJU.com/shop, and also patreon.com/HEELKAIJU for whenever we get new designs thrown up onto the store. And I think that's about it for us. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being a part of us, because we absolutely love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Catch you later. Deuces.
Bye.